Are we gonna have Mr. Castillo for tonight?
Yeah, Ben is actually there. He just clocked out though. He was there a few minutes ago. There he is.
On YouTube, just so y'all know.
There he is.
How's it going, guys? Nice to see y'all.
Wait. Let me ask.
Sir, wait. Before we go ahead and start, sir, welcome back from your vacations.
Hi, Jesse. How are you?
Fine.
Go lick your dog now.
Mr. Castillo, welcome back from your vacations.
Long vacations.
We have the Adjournment.
Appreciate it. Hello, Trustee Ayala. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
Good. Nice to see all of y'all.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got Mr. Salinas here. It is 6:30 by my my clock. Is it 6:30?
Yes, sir.
All right. So anything further, we're going to go ahead and start. Today is January the 18th, 2021 on Monday. I call this meeting to order. Members present, myself, Rafael Garza, Mr. Luis Trejo,
Present.
Ms. Norma Torres,
Present.
Mr. Raimundo Martinez. We're going to give him a few minutes. He usually is getting out of work around this time. Mr. Carlos Cardosa Sr. Okay. Mr. Javier Salinas.
Present.
Mr. Benjamin Arjona.
Present.
Carlos is right there.
Yes, I just saw him, and he was counted present because he was logging in. Seña Ayala.
Here.
Very good. Mr. Den Ramirez is not in today. However, we do have the esteemed Ben Castillo.
Here.
Here. All right. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, justice for all. Honor.
On the Texas flag, I
Flag.
pledge allegiance to thee,
To the one,
Texas.
indivisible,
one and indivisible.
invisible.
Salinas, would you lead us in a prayer, please?
Dear glorious Father, we come before you, my throne of glory, to give you thanks and praise for another day of life, dear Lord. Thank you for our kids in our community, our parents, our teachers, our staff, our board members, dear Lord. We just ask that you watch over each and every day. During this pandemic times, dear Lord, we thank you for keeping us safe. We try our best to keep everybody safe. And we just ask that you continue to bless our kids, that they do the best they can with what they have at home right now. I know it's not an easy time for any of us, for our kids, our parents, our community, and our teachers, but we try our best, and we know soon with this vaccine that we will come back to normal times, and we can't wait for that. Dear Lord, we just ask that we make the best decisions we can tonight, and we make the best decisions we can each and every day. And we ask all this in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Mr. Salinas, was this meeting properly posted and certified?
Yes, sir. We followed all rules and regulations according to the Texas Education Agency on posting these rules.
Okay, very well. Do we have anything for item 5, awards and ceremony, recognitions?
Not at this time, Mr. President.
Do you have any for item 6, superintendent report?
Nothing at this time, Mr. President.
Okay. Section 7, any public comments?
Garza?
There's no public comments. Is there a public comments in a special called board meeting though?
I don't know. But
But no, there's no comments.
very well. Okay.
Yes, it should be. It's a public, special, any meetings, we have public comments, Jennifer.
Okay.
But if there's anyone signed in, we don't have any.
Okay. Action taken on consent items, none. All right. Action 9, taken nothing.
Ms. Candy, did we have meetings, board meetings or no?
No, sir, not at this time.
Okay, thank you.
So with item 10. Action item number 1 says I entertain the motion to consider approve the insurance consulting service. Well, we have to have presentations first.
Yes, sir. Mr. Board President, on item number 10, we are bringing, we went out for RFQs, for RFPs for insurance consultant.
Okay.
Presentations to take place in front of the board, and the board can select one of the 2 firms that did apply for this request for proposal. So, Mr. Guillermo, you want to talk a little bit to introduce the firms?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Good evening, members of the board, Mr. Salinas and colleagues. So we did go out for bids on RFQ, request for qualifications for consulting services. We opened the RFQs on January the 12th, 2021, which was last Tuesday. And we have 2 companies that are going to be providing the board with information about what they do, their staff, their background, and how are they the best choice for the district for the board to review and consider. And later on, then the board can make a decision into what course of action they want to take. So with that said, I'm going to introduce the first vendor. We're going to be going through alphabetical order, and the first one will be Hodgkins and Barrett. And Jenny, they should be in the waiting room. I'm not handling that part.
At this time, board members, we're
Yes, we do have 2 people waiting there in the board meeting. I mean, in the waiting room.
Right. So let's let the first one in, which would be Hodgkins and Barrett, and her name is Shanna Robinson, and
Okay.
she will be presenting to the board.
Okay, let me let her in.
Can I ask before we start we went out for RFQs, RFPs, or we went out for bids?
Request for
What day
qualification.
was it? I'm sorry?
RFQs.
RFQs.
So we went out for RFQs.
Right.
Because somebody said, I don't know if it was you, Mr. Salinas, it was RFPs, and then you said bid.
It was RFQs.
So I want to make sure for the record that it was for RFQs.
Yes.
Okay, and when did we go out for RFQs?
We opened the bid, sir, last Tuesday, which was the 12th, January the 12th.
Right. When did you go out for RFQs? When was it posted?
It was posted, I want to say it was about 40 days ago, sir. Right before we broke for the holiday was the day that we post. I can give you the exact day if you want it, sir.
40 days ago, that's fine.
Yes, more than, yeah.
Very well.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Guillermo, just a quick question. What's going to be the process for the interviews? Everybody's going to get 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and who's going to take time and all that good stuff?
Yeah, I'll be taking the time, sir, and I'll be letting the vendor know in the event that they're going over. But the instructions are for 10 minutes, the presentation, and then if the board wants to extend it, or Mr. Salinas, but then it's up to the board to decide. But 10 minutes is what the vendor was instructed to present.
Okay, and then there will be some time for questions by the board if necessary.
Yes, sir. So
Awesome.
I'll be tracking time, and I'll be letting Shanna know in the event that she's getting closer. So I believe we do have
Thank you, sir.
Shanna Robinson on the there. If you want to unmute yourself, Shanna.
Yes, sir.
You have 10 minutes. I'll be tracking the time. And if you want to go ahead and start and do your presentation to the Board of Trustees and our superintendent.
Guillermo, I may ask a question. Do you want me to go ahead and show my slides?
Yes, you can do it yourself.
Okay.
Jenny, if you can allow her, please. Yes.
How do I make it?
Slideshow.
Where? Right here?
Slideshow. From beginning.
Okay. Okay. Without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. President Garza, honorable members of the board, and Superintendent Salinas, thank you very much for the invitation to present to you this evening. I first want to recognize this is School Board Appreciation Month, and personally thank all of you for the gallant work that you do to represent and serve Hidalgo ISD. Your countless hours are very appreciated. Hotchkiss Barrett Insurance is honored to be here. I want to go over the content. So we're going to do an introduction to who we are as an agency, the experience, the innovation, as well as the difference that Hotchkiss Barrett brings. Hotchkiss Barrett Insurance is a leading strategic risk and insurance advisor addressing clients, risk management, insurance brokerage, and employee benefits and consulting needs, creating a seamless firm. Barrett Insurance Services was founded in 1958, 63 years ago, by Robert Barrett, and has served 2 generations of families. We've served over 250,000 employees in 2 generations of ownership. We are members of STRAC and HUB and represent over 50 national carriers and exclusive networks. Hotchkiss Insurance, which is the consulting piece, was founded in 1975. Hotchkiss Insurance recently celebrated 44 years in business and has also been owned by two different generations of families. They place over $150 million of premium in the Texas marketplace annually and are one of the largest Texas independent brokers. You can see here, I just wanted to give a face to a name. I thought that was important. I know that was important to Guillermo. You can see there, there's our office team for Barrett over on the left-hand side, and then Kerry Malik, who represents Hotchkiss Insurance, is there representing his team on the right-hand side. The Hotchkiss Barrett experience and current clients. This is a list of current clients, as you can see, between the 2 different companies that we still carry, going all the way back from 2002, which shows longevity and represents longstanding clients due to customer service and stewardship. We've been with Bexar County since 2006, Jefferson County since 2002. And in the school district area, Lighthouse Public School is a recent school for both entities. San Antonio Independent School District we've had since 2008. Somerset Independent School District since 2020. Southside Independent School District with all benefits to include property and casualty, workman's comp, board support for their insurance, as well as all benefits. And then Southwest Independent School District as well. National firms are frequently cookie cutters. Whoop. But the difference that you're going to get with a Hotchkiss Barrett is true concierge service. Attention to detail, frequent reporting, flexibility per client, creativity for carriers and cost containment, concierge service, board education, and workshops. As you can see, it's much more detailed and there's much more specifics and duties and projects that a Hotchkiss Barrett takes on than going to be one of your national firms that we consider standard in the industry. Exceeding expectation. Employee benefits, from compliance to communication, we provide a full spectrum of solutions for you and your school district. We understand the challenges today's employers face, and we know you're asked to take on more than ever. Expect more from a broker and expect our full spectrum of solutions. We want to take off the burden that are things that your employees are having to manage right now that we believe should be a standard in our industry for the consultant and the broker. Some of the things that we highlight: comprehensive annual marketing, pharmacy strategies, and PBM management. And although you are under TRS currently, we're going to suggest that you all also offer another medical plan while you can do that under the DOI. So the PBM management would be very important. Claims and billing assistance, plan and design of selection support, disruption analysis, so you know exactly when you do get new medical carriers to include TRS, where there's going to be disruption, data analytics, employee education, board education, year-round support, open enrollment and new higher education, and wellness consulting, compliance workshops and webinars, ACA reporting, which we know is very important as well as very expensive, as well as COBRA, HIPAA, and FMLA 125s and Medicare Part D guidance. These are all facets of the industry that we consider standard. We want to complement your internal staff and alleviate the burden of what a broker, concierge, and consultant should be doing. And please let me know if there's any questions. Innovation. Hotchkiss Barrett Innovation. We use a strategy of comprehensive full service package benefits that are guaranteed to drive down claims cost. We understand the budget constraints for payroll, especially in the year of COVID. So when you hire a Hotchkiss Barrett, you enlist comprehensive benefit strategies under one roof, one-stop shop, one phone call, eliminate the need for steps when a resolution on a claim needs to be taken care of. It's one phone call and we take care of it. Narrowed networks are something that we've innovated, direct contracting, wellness initiatives to include incentives and penalties, value-based pricing on out-of-network and out-of-area claims, data analytics, on-site and near-site clinics, and proprietary benefit solutions. Narrowed networks are something that are our specialty as well, something that we created in 2016 and have continued to expand. Hotchkiss Barrett Insurance would propose a second carrier plan that would add a second option to TRS, traditional carrier or narrowed network, whichever was the most cost affordable, as well as had the largest network for less disruption. We use narrowed networks as an option to manage cost and claims. Using the narrowed network can reduce cost as a PPO up to potentially 20%. And currently most of all the large carriers have proprietary networks, as well as we have some that are proprietary to us. Direct contracting. We have vast experience in contracting with providers on a local basis, primarily in the hospitals. Most are sensitive to public entities and their flights, and will try and provide pricing that will exceed what the PPO networks can provide. We've contracted with other local hospitals and markets, and we can do similar arrangements that will also benefit Hidalgo ISD. We completed one in the Valley Baptist at 2017. Wellness is another area where there's not only great savings, obviously there's great benefit to your employees as well as to your district. We believe that aggressive wellness initiatives should be implemented to encourage employees to be aware of their health and the cost. Most importantly, we want to put accountability back on the employees and hopefully increase their compliance. For every 100 employees that participate, you can reduce claims by $25,000 a year. I realize that right now you're in a fully insured program and you're with TRS, but there's great opportunity as TRS is making some changes itself that you may want to add a second carrier and maybe eventually go self-insured, and this would become very important. Data analytics. We use a proprietary actual software that analyzes usage trends, problem diseases, and facility charges. Utilization trends are very important. We can adjust the PPO contracts to hold doctors accountable for poor outcomes. Outcomes are just as important as discounts. Problem diseases, we can identify early onset problems of conditions and adjust plans to attack certain diseases. And then facility charges. As we go through claims data, we can identify high cost providers and then steer away from those and re-educate employees if necessary. Pharmacy management is just as important. Whether you all stay on TRS or you choose to go with another carrier alongside them, or you stay with TRS, there are guaranteed discounts, clinical initiative control and flexibility, increased compliant, direct medications to employees. Pharmaceutical expenses can be removed completely from the plan, which lower your premiums, and no pharmaceutical cost to employees. Even if you are on TRS, we have an overlay program that can remove the cost of all pharmaceuticals. Most importantly, get pharmaceuticals that are needed in employees' hands, delivered to their door to increase compliance and decrease absenteeism. And one of the programs that we're most proud of and really changing lives.
2 minutes left, Jana. 2 minutes left.
Okay. Utilization of a DOI. We are big believers in near-site clinics, which include controlling your health, your workman's compensation, occupational health, athletic, and student care. We also have an HDHP benefit that has a solution for those that have a high deductible healthcare plan. Possible recommendations: market gold standard and nationally recognized claim software, proprietary products that have lower cost to employees, added value and benefits. DOI innovative solution to offer second medical carrier, which brings real access, instant pharmacy benefits, lower premiums to employees and district. The ability to no longer be held hostage by TRS in the midst of them being $650 million in the red through their claims through November. Concierge enrollment and customer service, carrier accountability, responsible time managed by broker for all employees and district benefits, on-site virtual enrollment with Spanish and English licensed brokers, excellent references with over 63 years of growth in the market, foundation of representing the board, district, and employees first and foremost with all decisions, quarterly reporting, and we make sure every family member can be covered. All benefits to included our four-legged family. With that being said, are there any questions? I'm going to go back to the screen.
Yeah, the 10 minutes are up.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
hi, this is Yesenia Ayala. Will there be a dedicated person for Hidalgo SD, or is it gonna be anybody?
The great question. Thank you for asking. No, ma'am, we have a dedicated account manager that would represent Hidalgo ISD, and her name is Sonia Cardenas, and she was also in the picture that I showed you in the very beginning.
Okay, and she's bilingual, right?
Yes, ma'am, she is bilingual. Absolutely. She is a retired principal from SAISD and decided to get her license and has been a huge asset to us, as well as has a real understanding, obviously, of school districts.
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am, this is Ray Martinez.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you guys, right now, we're going out for bids for consultant, right?
Yes, sir.
A consultant that's going to represent our Hidalgo SD
Yes,
to
sir.
go out and look for products. So you're, as a consultant, you're supposed to have open eye and go with the best product for the district and for our employees, right?
I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit, sir. Would you mind repeating the
Hello?
question?
Right now, we're looking for a consultant for our school district.
Yes,
A
sir.
consultant, right?
Yes,
Not, we're looking for somebody, when we're up for renewal for a voluntary products,
Help me.
we need somebody that's not to be biased and represent our employees, our district, to go out there and look for products, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Oh.
sir. We're
So,
independent.
right, so we're on the same page, right? You want a consultant, because I see a lot of other stuff there, like your own products and stuff like that. Right now, we're looking for a consultant.
Yes, sir.
That's gonna come and give us the look out there and look for the best products for our employees. That's gonna
Yes, sir.
we want to have the best products out there for our employees, and not someone that's gonna be biased
Yes, sir.
towards a company, right?
Yes, sir. We take great pride in that. We are not aligned with anyone. We represent over 50 national carriers, and then there are some private networks as well. But we take great pride in choosing the very best product, carrier, and benefit for the district and the district employees.
Yeah, but yes, you're going, whenever we're up for renewal,
Yes, sir.
you're gonna be looking for the best products, no matter what company they are or who, so that's what we're looking for right now, right?
Yes, sir. We're completely independent. We
There was
we don't represent anybody individually. We're not paid by anybody specifically. We're absolutely independent.
Any other questions?
Yes, one quick question. Sorry, it got cut off. Do you all have any other school districts down here in the valley? I heard you all had some San Antonio, but any down here in the valley?
Yes, sir. No, sir, we do not. In full transparency, we have approached 6 different school districts, particularly with the opportunity to get out of TRS. That is our specialty. We were successful in doing that for 5 districts here in San Antonio. So that's what actually brought us to the opportunity to come and get in front of you all after we saw that the consultant RFQ was open. We are meeting with a company that we plan to represent tomorrow at lunch, and I would be more than happy to share that with you if all goes well tomorrow, but we will have our first client, it looks like, tomorrow.
Okay, I was just wondering. It's because part of it got cut off, and I just wanted to make sure.
Thank you. I very much appreciate the question. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for a great presentation, ma'am.
Thank you.
We're going to continue with the
Mr.
next
President, if I may, can I ask another question? I
Go
was
ahead.
on mute.
I'm sorry about that.
No, it was my bad. I was on mute. But I have a quick question, Ms.
Yes, sir.
Robinson. Was that
Yes, sir.
presentation that you presented to us, was that submitted to the district?
Yes, sir.
It was.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Guys, and again, we're going to go back to what I've said before in the past, is that this information was not presented to us, was not delivered to us. So I would have loved to have seen that presentation. And I think it was a very good presentation as to what the services are, guys, Mr. Board President. So having said that, again,
in their defense, it was sent about 12 o'clock. So I just wanted to make sure that we're fully transparent. We didn't send it till 12 o'clock.
So what are we looking at, guys? So we're looking at a request for qualification. We're looking for proposals. What are we looking at? That's my misunderstanding, because I really don't get this. I mean, the presentation has nothing to do with the qualifications. You know what we're asking for. That's my
made a point.
Good point.
Thank you, Mr. Arjona.
Yes, sir.
Good point. Any further discussion? Any further questions? Okay. Ms. Robinson, thank you so much for your time. It's greatly appreciated. Well, we have much to discuss. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I'm very accessible if there should be any other questions. Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you for what you do.
Amen.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a nice evening. Stay
Thank
safe.
you, you too.
Thank you.
Okay. Guillermo?
Yes, sir. Okay, we have our next presenter. His name is Mr. Roger Garza, and he is out of Valley Risk Consulting. And he is our current consultant that helps the district out throughout the RFPs and the process. So with that said, I'm gonna have Mr. Garza. Jenny, can you let Mr. Garza in?
There was a Javier Leal.
Yes. It's
Yeah,
the-
he's in.
Mr. Can you make sure that Shauna is out?
She already is, sir.
Okay, thank you. Leave her in the holding room in case the board has more questions.
Yes.
She's in the waiting room.
Thank you.
Mr. Garza, you're here with the board already, and Mr. Salinas, you have 10 minutes to present, and you have your presentation there, so if you want to share it, you can go ahead and start already. We'll be keeping track, and I'll be letting you know on the time, sir.
All right. Well, good evening, everyone. President.
Good evening, sir. Are you there? Okay, here we go. Guillermo, don't start the clock until they're ready to go, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm ready. Yes, I'm waiting.
When
All right, can y'all hear us?
yes, sir.
All right, great.
Ready.
We'll try this again one more time. Good evening, everyone. President Garza, Superintendent Salinas, and honorable members of the Board of Trustees. Thank you very much for taking this time this evening to meet with us. My name is Roger Garza. I am your consultant for Valley Risk Consulting. With me today is Javier Leal. He's our benefit specialist here. And also we have Mr. Jeremy Sokolinsky, who's a retirement specialist. They're joining me today. What we want to do is we want to share a little bit about ourselves. We have been the consultants for Hidalgo ISD for almost 5 years. I remember back in 2015 when we did the presentation originally, we certainly were very excited to have Hidalgo ISD as part of our new team. Let me share a little bit about ourselves. First of all, we're the very first minority-owned risk management consulting firm in Texas, particularly for school districts. We have over 60 years of combined experience, especially with school district, not private. We don't have any private clients. We've serviced approximately 85% of all Region 1 school districts. So you're in a good big class with a bunch of school districts here in the Valley. Currently, we have 53 members under management. The great news is that we're centrally located. We're right here in McAllen. We're 10 minutes away from Hidalgo ISD. And more importantly, we're part of your community as well. So we share a lot in the community involvement by participating in PTAs. We also participate in scholarship programs. We were actually part of your sponsorship for the scoreboard as well. So we're proud to do that for Hidalgo ISD as we are for other school districts. One more important thing is we are licensed by the Texas Department of Insurance as consultants only. We are not insurance agents or brokers. We always say this, you're in good company. We were part of our background here in the Valley is McAllen ISD. We have Sheridan ISD, Brownsville ISD, Wesco ISD, Point Isabel ISD. We have a lot of school districts, a lot of cities as well, City of Wesco, City of Edinburgh. We do the City of Port Isabel. So we have a lot of, you're like I said, we're in good company with a lot of school districts and cities and entities as well. One of the big questions we always are asked is why us? Why choose us? Or why did Hidalgo ISD choose us? Back when we came in 2015, we had limited participation. And we've always strived at every school district that we do. And we actually have broken a lot of records with Hidalgo ISD. We inspire participation by insurance companies. Because of our transparency and our honesty and fair play, a lot of companies participate, so they submit a lot of proposals. We've actually said we get more proposals at Hidalgo ISD than we do in any other school district. What does this mean? Our interest is the employee's interest. So the more proposals that we get from insurance companies, the lower the rates become for your employees. We tend to agree that here in the office that the rates for employees have decreased while the benefits have increased. And more importantly, we are fee-based consultants. We don't take commissions. We don't charge commissions. We don't charge off commissions. And we provide working solutions for both property and casualty and workers' compensation as well. The services you asked us to provide, we developed requests for proposals. We wrote them, we provided them. We did them both for property, casualty, workers' compensation. We did them for employee benefits. We did them for the 403B, the 457. Right now, the employees are participating in mutual funds and stock options. We did the workers' compensation RFPs and the employee benefits. We manage the third-party administrators for both the 403B and the 457, as well as the consolidated billing as well. We do tabulations and we do evaluations of our proposals. We don't make the selection. We allow the committees to make those selections. What we do is we streamline the proposals to ensure that we're able to get the best quality services, the best price, and we present that to your insurance committees. The insurance committees make those recommendations and those selections based on multiple meetings. And we bring those recommendations both to your board and to the committees as well. The strategies that we try to use or implement are the historical claims monitoring. We try to control that, and it worked very well for the district this past year. We track the trends, the benchmarks that we set aside so everybody can be competitive. We provide monthly, quarterly, and annual reviews of all your products to ensure that they're compliant with federal laws and state laws. We're always available upon request. Like I said, we're about 10 minutes away. We do forensic review of all your documents that need to be evaluated. And we provide property and casualty loss magnitude services when requested. I like to say in conclusion, you have consulting services you come to expect with services that we're expected to bring to you. And we're very, very proud to be part of the Hidalgo ISD family. We hope that we can continue to do that. We are here for Hidalgo ISD. We're Valley Risk Consulting and we're Valley proud. I'm open for any questions you may have.
Roger, I have a question. If an employee, especially at these times right now, if an employee goes through something and they need your help on their benefits to see if they qualify to pay their bills, stuff like that, Do you help them with that? Are you available for that?
We're always available to help any employee of any ISD with any questions. We direct them in the right direction, whether it comes to the claims or the billing issues. We try to direct them, especially because you have an agent, we direct them directly to the agent. We try to work it as a group, if you will. So because we work on your behalf, we're fee-based consultants. We only work for Hidalgo ISD. If Hidalgo ISD asks us to evaluate or monitor the situation, we do that for you. And I guess to answer your question briefly, yes, we do. We can help an employee.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I'm sorry.
Any other questions, board?
Well, the only question that I have is the same as I asked before. The proposal or the presentation was sent ahead of time to the district. Okay.
Yes.
They did?
The presentation was also sent today, sir. Yes.
Okay. So the question that I have is, the other presentation that we just heard, that they touched about the DOI and an additional TRS medical plan. Is that something that you guys can provide?
Yes, sir. We do it as a fee base. We have no incentive other than providing the service. Yes, we do.
So I guess my question is, again, you guys can provide us with DOI, and also if there was to be an additional TRS medical plan, you guys can do that. You guys can handle that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it's going to be based on a fee base, like you said. So it'll be additional to what you guys proposed.
If it falls within the parameters of the proposal that we submit, it stays in that parameter. If it goes extensive outside of that parameter, then at your basically leisure, you tell us exactly how much you're willing to invest. So it could be 1 hour, it could be 4 hours.
So having said that, what's the hourly rate so that I can do that real quick?
The hourly rate is $185 if it goes outside the statutory amounts that we submitted.
So if it's an hourly rate, what are we looking at as far as más o menos a total amount of hours?
Oh, I think we said the most was 10 hours, I believe. 10.
Yeah, we're on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
Well, every time we go out to bid, we go into the tier 2, which is the hourly rate. And we go out to bid for any kind of procurement. That's the way I'll come in. Other than that, we have a fee base, monthly fee base. And we're going into tier 2.
I don't think none of us heard what the gentleman said.
I could. It sounds very distant. I think we're having
Oh,
some.
I'm sorry. There's a cap. There's a cap that's placed on there, and I believe the maximum hours that outside of that cap is 10 hours. So I believe it's $1,800. I believe it's the maximum.
That'll be the maximum that you guys would charge. I mean, would charge us if you were to do it like a DOI. Then what about an additional TRS?
If you decided to go outside of that statute and we got the information, the required information, it would stay within that parameter. It wouldn't go beyond that.
Okay.
And sure, if we decide to go DOI, I'll be working with Ben Castillo to do.
Mr. Salinas, you got cut off, sir.
And I know that Ben and I have been talking about it for about 6 months to look at it so we can try to provide better benefits for health insurance for our staff members.
That was the reason that I'm heading over that question, so that we can provide the best that we can to our employees, if it's allowable and if it's possible, Mr. Salinas, because nowadays, and I don't know how this pandemic is gonna play out. So that's the reason I'm asking. What company is offering that? The cabinet. Will do it.
Yeah.
I actually invented that process in El Paso.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Ben Castillo, say it again, Ben.
I invented that process. El Paso ISD hired me to figure out a way to get them out of TRS, and that's what we came up with as their lawyers.
Nice.
That was a good job too.
You're the man.
Yeah.
It's a very good concern, Mr. Hona, because, you know, TRS changes the rules every year, and now it's limiting us to a lot of things, and we don't like that because more independence where they can make selections that they want to, but we're kind of handcuffed by TRS. So I think me and Ben are going to get together this week and start moving forward aggressively and come up with a plan to bring the DOI type of changes. Of course, DOI has a lot of, aside from the TRS, it has a lot of other variables that we want to go over with the board before we move forward, because, you know, it has some other stuff that the board needs to know about before we go totally DOI.
Totally understand that. And then the other thing is, going back to Mr. Roger, is that something that you guys have done in the past, or is this something would be totally new to you guys?
Well, it's a good question. We were assisting a school district this past summer, trying to get a DOI going. However, because in fact we actually went out to bid, and unfortunately, because of the changes with the conditions that we're at, it was kind of difficult to explain it in a Zoom meeting. We had to do personal meetings, but we couldn't do them. So they decided to postpone it until next summer or this coming summer. So to qualify my statement, we've done it one time as an attempt, but we couldn't succeed because of the timing and the fact that we were in a pandemic condition situation.
So just safe to say that you don't have one under your belt?
No,
yet.
No, sir, not yet. No, but we do have, like I said, we are working on one for sure and one on the other. Yeah.
Okay.
All our clients, Trustee, are already outside of TRS. We don't have anybody, for the exception of Hidalgo ISD with TRS, but most of them are self-funded right now. So we have a lot of working knowledge in the self-funding process.
Okay.
Okay. Any further questions, comments? Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Good presentation.
Roger, go ahead and stay in the waiting room, sir, in case there's any other questions later down the road. Please,
sure.
We'll let you know.
Thank you.
Okay, we've had two presentations. Is there a need to go into executive session?
I just have a question for the board.
Okay, you want to do it in executive session or in open?
Open, it's fine. How much did the other lady charge?
I don't know. That's a good question.
They're on the proposal.
Trustee Ayala, because these are RFQs, we more than likely did not get any pricing. So okay. What the board decides tonight, based on the qualifications that were presented to y'all would select a vendor or a consultant and authorize administration to negotiate with that consultant. And then once that negotiation process is done, we bring that contract to the board for approval or rejection. If the board approves it, then we're done. If the board rejects it, we move on to the next vendor.
Okay, I'm just asking because we asked one person that, not the other one.
So what, the TRS and the DOI?
Yeah, we asked
No,
them.
she included it on their presentation. That's why I asked.
Oh.
And see,
on
I'm sorry,
the insert, on the insert, you mean?
I'm sorry?
On the insert?
No, there's no inserts, and that was my thing. The presentation that they presented it was included in there, the DOI and the alternative. It was there. She presented it, and that's why I questioned it. But my question now, Mr. Salinas and Mr. Castillo, yes, and that's why I asked at the very beginning, was it an RFP, RFQ? Because if you look at the contracts, the fees are there. The fees are there, $20,000 and $12,000 if I'm not mistaken. But this is an RFQ. This is not an RFP. So I don't know whether this is valid or not. Can we even approve them, or just approve and maybe come up with, negotiate with one of them, or?
I would advise, because of the way that the agenda language is worded, and more than likely that's the way that the actual solicitation for the bid was worded, that if whatever choice the board makes tonight, it's not to approve a contract, it's to authorize administration to negotiate, just so we follow the RFQ process.
RFQ. Oh. Oh.
Very well. Everything all right, Mr. Salinas?
It's got a cramp.
Okay.
Sueños.
So, I'll say it again. Do you all want to go into executive session and discuss, or you want to somebody wants to make a motion?
Well, all I have, Mr. President, too, and members of the board, you know, if you wanted it on the outside, I have that same recommendation for the speech pathologist.
Okay.
And I have one resignation. She's going to take over her mom's business that passed away 2 weeks ago.
We're still on the same item, ¿verdad?
Yeah,
We're still on the first item, but
yeah, basically, you know what?
Item 10A.
Mr. Board President, I'd like to make a recommendation that, you know, based on the previous experiences that we had, and not that they're totally bad, but I'd like to maybe venture into, I mean, getting two companies for RFQs for this type of services. I think either we didn't do their due diligence, or the fact that it was right before Christmas that people did not submit the proposals or the RFQs. So either we extend it maybe another 15 days, bring it back, or I'd like to maybe go with a different direction and a new direction with a different company. And that'll be either, do we extend this, or my recommendation will be go with another company, which is the Barrett, whatever you call that, only because of the experience that we had in the past with Project Garza. And that'll be an emotion.
Well, why have you read the motion todavía, Mr. Ralph Garza, Mr. President?
No, there's no motion yet, Mr. Martinez.
So yeah, but he's making a motion without reading the question yet. So,
without what now?
He was making a motion without the question asking for a motion.
Oh, bueno, can you read the question, Mr.
Okay.
Mr. Garza, so that I can make the motion, so that Mr. Martinez is fine with that?
Well, basically, it's section 10. It's action taken on.
Wait, Mr. President. Okay, no, go ahead. It's because I was listening and there was a motion. You had asked for a motion, or if we wanted to go to a closed session, if I'm not mistaken. I was just clarifying that. I believe that's why Mr. Arjona was the one that made the motion. But go ahead, continue.
Right. I asked if you all wanted to go into executive session or to discuss it openly and make whatever motions you want to make.
So just for clarification, the board could go into closed session to ask legal advice on the process of the RFQ process, but not talk about the merits
Let's go into executive session.
Executive session. Yes, I recommend going to executive session.
All right. So I need a motion to go into executive session.
Motion.
I second it.
Next time, please, let's make sure that it's there. That we have the item listed to go into executive session, instead of, you know, making a little bit of a show and going into executive session in this matter. So next time, please, Mr. Salinas, if we need to go to executive session, let's go to executive session. If there's no need, let's not go to executive session. And the other thing I'm going to ask, can somebody text me or email me the meeting code, because I don't think I have it.
Yes, sir, I emailed it to you.
Just now, ma'am?
I emailed it to you at 6:26, right before the meeting, but I can resend it again.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. That's what I'm looking at the emails as we speak. I got it. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome, sir.
Mr. Salinas, please note Mr. Arjona's concerns for our next meetings. include them in the agendas clearly?
Well, these people didn't turn in the stuff till after 12, so
I
we didn't have.
understand, but it's still a question is going to be going before the board, and there may be legal questions to discuss. So, right now I've got a motion made by Mr. Martinez and a second by Ms. Ayala to go into executive session. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, that time. Is that everybody? We have only so far 3 people.
Aye.
Aye.
That's 2, 3.
The other one's already left.
Okay, very well.
I text them to come back.
No, that's fine. We're going to go into executive session.
No,
We need to stay.
Mr. Garza.
Yes.
Can somebody call one of the guys to come back in to vote? Because
Okay.
3 of them left.
Okay. Trying to text people. Just need one of them.
Do I qualify?
No, sadly, no.
Have you messaged anyone to come back?
I sent that. Okay, who's that? Mr. Trejo's there. Okay.
Now
Who do okay, we've got 4 now. Okay. A motion has been called and a second has been made. Call for a vote. All those in favor to indicate by saying aye. Who wish to go into executive session?
Aye.
Martinez, 2 ayes.
Aye.
There you go. You got 4.
Very well. I'm in vote. Mr. Trejo?
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Arjona?
What's the motion about?
To go to executive.
To go into executive?
Oh, yeah.
Is it people exited and you only had 3 people left?
What's going to happen? I have a motion at the table. Are we going to get rid of it or what's going on?
You want to rescind your motion until we discuss it in executive, then come back?
I don't have anything to discuss in executive session. I don't need to rescind it.
Very well. Right now, we're calling for a vote to go into executive. And we have
Mr.
4
Garza,
votes. Yes.
for the record, there is a motion on the floor.
Okay.
For a second. If there's no second, then motion. And
All
then
right.
do the remotion for executive.
Okay. Mr. Arjona made a motion. I call for a second. Can I second Mr. Arjona?
Sorry, could you repeat your what was the motion?
There was never you never read the question. That's the thing for there to be a motion on it. You know what I mean?
No, he did say that, sir. He did
Okay.
say what-
At the beginning of the discussion, Mr. Martinez, and I know you were logging on, when we discussed the item, we discussed the topic that we're going to be discussing. So there were two presentations made. There was discussion held, questions held. Mr. Arjona made a motion. If you want to repeat your motion, Mr. Arjona, for a second.
Mr. Garza, you never asked for a on a board meeting. You read the question, then you ask for a motion. There was a motion put
Mr.
before the question.
Mr. Martinez.
So your point of order
Mr.
is not.
Martinez.
I call for point of order, Mr. Garza.
Rafael,
I'm calling you on a
wait.
point of order, sir.
Rafa,
Mr.
Hold on,
Garza,
man.
just go follow the meeting. That's what we're asking.
Hold on, sir. Hold on.
okay,
Okay. We have a motion made, and yes, it was read, and a question was done.
It was
What
not
we're
read.
discussing here. However, he has every right to make a motion, and he did. So is there a second to Mr. Arjona?
okay.
You already
The
seconded.
the first question that you asked is if we can talk about an executive.
Yes, and there was a great pause, and there was no
Yes.
answer. And then we continued with discussion after that, correct? So
Right.
that, okay, so we continued with having open discussion. That nullified that question. Mr. Arjona then said, okay, I make a motion, which he's entitled to.
But make a motion, but you never read the question. He finished the presentation and then you never read the question so we could go on for a motion. That's what I'm saying.
On my.
All right,
Ben,
Mr. Castillo, some clarification here for Mr. Martinez. Excuse me? Oh, okay.
can you hear Ben Castillo?
No.
Ben,
No.
say- Ben is an executive board member, but he can't get out of it because he'll kill the link for executive.
Oh, okay. I see. Very well.
Guys,
Did you hear him?
No.
He said if Mr. Arjona did a motion, the board can consider if he gets a second. If not, they'll die. And can make a new motion to go to executive, according to Ben Castillo.
So Mr. Arjona made a motion. I made a second. Can we go forward now?
Yes, he's saying yes.
Very well. Mr. Arjona, do you want to repeat your motion so that it can be considered for a vote?
pretty much in a nutshell, what I said was that I'll make a motion to consider going with Barry Insurance Services. That's what I said.
Okay. Very well. Motion is made. A second, call for vote. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, well, motion dies, Mr. Arjona.
Yeah, that's fine.
No problem, sir. Now, I need a motion to go into executive session. We had one on hand with Mr. Martinez and Ms. Ayala.
Mr. Garza, hold on, Mr. Garza. So right now, we made a motion, so that means we're going with the other company or what?
By default, you mean? We can still make a if you want to avoid going into executive, then go ahead and make a motion.
Because he made a motion for the other company and he said
Mr.
no, so
Martinez.
there's only one company left.
Mr. Martinez, you can rescind your motion.
Correct, Mr. Martinez. I know what you're saying, but there could also be another motion where somebody can indicate and wait. That necessarily doesn't mean we go with the other vendor. Somebody else could say a motion to go hold, and for the future, let's see if we can get more
very well stated,
more
Mr.
bids, and
okay, so
and then we can go from there. Sorry.
So
about
at
that.
this,
Mr.
so
Castillo's coming back in. So Candy set up another link for executive in case we need it at this time. Ben Castillo's gonna come back to this one. He's killing the other password and link. So if y'all have questions, give him 30 seconds to get back here.
Okay.
Yeah, if she can send that via message, please.
If you can do that, Candy, set up a second executive in case we need it, because I do have personnel.
Sure. On the executive session, the attorneys are the ones that do, if you want me to do it, I
Yes.
can do it, but,
Yes.
okay.
Make sure you let in Mr. Garza.
He's coming in, sir.
Ben, can you unmute yourself?
Yes.
He's doing another Zoom link for executive in case we need to go.
You need me to do it?
I think the board has questions. Go ahead and talk.
So right now, Ben, we voted, Mr. Barjona made a motion to go with Barrett. Mr. Ralph Garza seconded the motion, and the motion died. So what happens now?
You could entertain another motion for the other company, or you could entertain a motion to reject, or you could entertain a motion to go into closed session.
Okay.
So if somebody wants to make a motion for the other company who presented, you can do that now.
Okay. So at this time, I make a motion to go with the company we had before. I make a motion.
Made. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a second. Ms. Ayala. And we'll call for vote. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Before that,
Aye. One moment. Hold. Yes.
Just for the record, the reason I'm voting against this is because at the last meeting that we had with the proposals, it was a very inaccurate numbers that were submitted, and I was very unhappy to see the way that the employees were going to take fall on that. So that's the reason, just for the record, that's the reason why I wanted to go with a different company and a new direction, because the company that we currently have was not to my standards and not meet the standards the employees need. Just for the record, guys.
Very well.
And you mean in the meeting, Ben?
Well, I don't know if you were present or not, but that's one of the meetings that we had, that the numbers
Where?
they were not very accurate.
Just for the
Where
record, some of the companies that you chose, that you went with, Mr. Arjona, they overrided the companies that the employees had before that were better benefits than they had. So I think
that was my thing, my take.
Yeah.
So ahorita we can go back and say for the record you, for the record that.
Yeah, we can. I know.
Let's just say that was the reason why I decided to go in a different direction, because of the way that the numbers that were presented were not the best interest to the employees.
Yes, sir. Okay, Mr. President, right now we have a motion and we have a second on the table.
Guys, for the record,
Mr. Martinez, let me call that call, okay?
Oh my God.
All right, sir.
Yes, sir.
So Ayala, did you have any further discussion?
yeah, for the record, I was in that meeting and I abstained because we didn't allow the consultant to speak.
Okay. For whatever your reasons for abstaining, that was in that meeting, ma'am. Thank you for
No, because
that out.
he's
Okay.
he's saying it and I say too.
Very
For
well.
the record.
Okay. So now we have a motion and we have a second for Valley Risk Consulting. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All those against?
Aye.
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 Aye. Very well. Is that everybody?
Sure.
Motion does not carry. Are there any other motions to be made or considered?
Well, we talked about executive.
Hold on. Yes.
Yes, I want to make a
discussion.
I was gonna say, since everybody's making a motion left and right, I guess go for a motion and and wait and see if put it out again and see if we can get more vendors to come out, more consultants, and see more companies that get a chance, like Mr. Arjona was saying, probably because of the Christmas break and whatnot right now. Many didn't get a chance to view. So my motion is to, I guess, to put it back out and see if we can get more companies to look into it. More consulting
It would
companies.
be to reject. It would be to reject and rebid, Mr. Trejo, essentially.
Yes, Mr. Castillo.
I have a motion by Mr. Trejo. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. We have a second by Mr. Arjona. I will be
Mr.
calling.
Garza, it might be easier. I'm sorry to interrupt. It might be easier to do a roll call vote just so we can determine.
No problem with that, sir. Okay. We'll be requiring a roll call vote. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Mr. Martinez, aye. Ms. Ayala,
Aye.
Ms. Torres, you're on mute, Ms. Torres. You're back on mute, ma'am. Ms. Torres, you're on mute, ma'am. There you
Okay.
go.
Okay, I'm sorry. Aye.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Cardosa,
He's on mute.
Mr. Cardosa, did he log back in? Okay, there he is. Yes, sir. Is that an aye? Okay, he gave a thumbs up, is an aye. Mr. Arjona,
Aye.
very well. Myself, aye. Motion carries. The ayes have it.
Okay, we'll open it up for a couple of more weeks and see if anybody else applies.
So, Mr. Salinas, the action was to reject the bids and then to rebid it. So we'd start all over.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. President, I just have that same hire from last time and 2 resignations. We can do it out here if you don't mind. We can go to executive if you want.
I'm fine.
Just, are you okay, board, to do it out here? It's just.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
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 I want to recommend.
I'm just asking a question, sir. They're good resignations, right? They're leaving because they want to leave. Yes, right?
Yeah, one of them.
Okay, we're good. We're good then.
The family business.
Okay.
And the second one is resigning because she wants to stay home with her 5 kids, scared of COVID. That's a speech path that we're going to replace today.
Oh, okay, cool.
Sir,
Yeah.
on that one, you said there was nobody from Hidalgo, right?
Nobody from Hidalgo, nobody that went to school from Hidalgo. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so I want to recommend Alejandra Cornejo for speech language pathologist, 5 years experience. Resignation of Lisa Lopez, speech path. Resignation of Laura Fonseca Garcia, who's going to take over her mom's business. Those are my recommendations, members of the board.
Thank you. Do we need to take action on that, a vote?
Yes.
Very well. I need a motion to accept the superintendent.
Motion.
I second.
And seconded by my Ms. Torres, I believe got it, and Mr. Martinez came in third. I have a second. I call for vote. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Martinez, aye.
Any nays?
Mr. Board President, just for the record, there were no people, nobody from Hidalgo that applied. Like we had misunderstood at the last meeting that somebody said it was 3 of them, so nobody applied. So I'm good with the recommendation. Thank you, guys.
Very well, sir. Motion carries. Passes. I don't have a gavel, so I just hit my hand on the floor here. Okay, any other items?
That's it. We're ready for adjournment.
I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Ms. Torres,
Second.
Mr. Martinez.
Woo.
And the time is 7:39.
Oh, set the record.
Meeting is adjourned. Call the vote. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Yeah, that's some good lawyering right there.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Mr.
Bye, man.
Bye. Nice to see y'all.
Bye.
Thank you for coming to the meeting, Ben.
Of course. Thank y'all for having me.